What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. So, kind of an interesting video here. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, has basically told management that he is requesting a trade out of San Francisco. This is definitely newsworthy. We don't really know why exactly that Deebo Samuel is actually requesting a trade. From what it sounds like is that supposedly the 49ers have a really solid offer in place and that it's Deebo Samuel holding everything up. Well, if he's requesting a trade out of San Francisco, and there has to be something else going on here that we're not 100% sure of. Deebo Samuel obviously, is wanting a new contract. That was probably the part of it, but I'm not 100% sure what it is that is going on inside the building that has gotten Deebo Samuel to completely flip directions away from the team. Very, very interesting indeed. We'll probably learn more about that as time goes along. But nevertheless, Deebo Samuel has officially announced that he wants to be traded out of San Francisco. So now the ultimate question is, there's a couple different questions here. One, is he actually going to get traded? That's the big question, right? Because, the San Francisco 49ers don't have to trade him. But then again, if he's not going to be playing for them, then, that can be a waste of a spot, and, you could get something out of him. And the ultimate question here is who's going to get him? Well, there is a lot of teams here that definitely have the opportunity to land a Deebo Samuel. The Colts can definitely be one of them. Ironically enough, I think Vegas odds from the time I'm recording this video has the Colts as the favorite, which is odd. I don't know how that's even possible, but because the Colts have had success taking guys from the 49ers before, with Lynch. We definitely have some good relationships there with Ballard and them. We have obviously gotten DeForest Buckner from them before. So, deals definitely can be made. So first things first, let's kind of just break this down. I've already mentioned how, he may not potentially get traded, at least not right away. But here's the one thing that I can definitely say is that, yes, the Colts absolutely can make this move happen. There is not a single thing that can hold us back right now. The only thing that sucks is the fact that there are a bunch of teams inside the first round of the draft this year that are sitting with 2 draft picks in the first round. Okay. So, that's the only thing. Outside of that, the Colts can give up their second round pick, their first rounder next year. They can give up another first rounder. Again, I'm not sitting here saying what I think the Colts should be willing to give up for Deebo, because I'm not one of those guys that knows how this is going to work out for us. And in case you don't know, again, what Deebo Samuel actually is, this guy played in 15 games, 2019, had an injury in 2020, but in 2021 had the year of his career. He is a 25-year-old, and he's just now entering his prime. Last season had over 1,700 total yards from scrimmage. This guy was a baller. Had 8 rushing touchdowns and had 6 receiving touchdowns. Outside of, maybe a Cooper Kupp, I think a lot of people were questioning, if Deebo was the best wide receiver in the league. The hybrid role you get from him, it's insane. What he can actually do for you, the athleticism that he has is second to none in a lot of guys. So that's what makes him a lot more valuable. Again, when we're talking about draft compensation, yes, there are a few teams in this year's draft that have more draft capital, but the Colts can afford to give up more if they wanted to. Again, I don't know what's going to be given up for Deebo Samuel, probably quite a bit. And from what it sounds like is that, the 49ers don't really want to give him up unless they get like a king's ransom. What does that mean? I'm not 100% sure. Might mean multiple first rounders. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how that one's going to go down. But, and for cap situations as well, listen, guys, we have enough cap. Everyone has cap. There is not a single team out here, except maybe with a few of them, that could not afford him. Okay, the Colts can afford him. Somehow, some way, we can figure out the cap situation. We can do that. And Deebo's going to want a big contract. That's probably one of the main reasons he doesn't want to stay in San Francisco. I bet San Francisco is banking on trading Jimmy Garoppolo. That hasn't happened, and getting rid of some of that contract so they can afford to pay somebody like a Deebo Samuel. But here's the other thing that I would say, not to get your hopes up on it, is that, again, the wide receivers specifically, if this was a corner, if this was a quarterback, if this was a, left tackle, if this was a defensive end again, like I would see Ballard dropping the ball on making sure that he gets an offer in there to make things work. But, with the receiver position, it's very difficult. Ballard's never been one to attack the wide receiver market very well. And, with it being a trade and having to be a massive trade, I can see where Ballard would be a little skeptical to want to do that. Okay. But now I have heard that Ballard has, in fact, sent a trade offer to San Francisco. I'm sure many teams will be calling there over the next few days. Again, I don't expect anything to happen right away, but again, I do believe the Colts can make this move. If you guys are asking my opinion on if we should, I'm all for it. I would love to get Deebo Samuel on this team. What he can do offensively for this team opens up a ton of things. Again, it can happen. Will it happen? Again, I'm not getting my hopes up. It just seems like another list down a long line of things that the Colts could do, just won't be able to. But again, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this, about Deebo wanting to come out of the 49ers, and if you think the Colts will and could be able to bring in Deebo Samuel. Thank you guys again so much for the continued support. Hope you all like the video. And as always, guys, go Colts.